How often do you tell someone else, "I love you"? Probably quite often. But now ask yourself, when was the last time you said, "I love myself"? For most people, that question leaves them speechless. Why is loving ourselves so much harder than loving others? Today, I want to share a deeper understanding of self-love with you through a powerful story. So, hello, and welcome to another inspiring episode of Way to Enlightenment. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to stop criticizing yourself, embrace your imperfections, and start living with a heart full of love and kindness for the most important person in your life. That is you. So, let's begin the story. Once upon a time, there was a traveler who roamed from village to village in search of happiness. He had visited the most beautiful places, met the kindest people, and tasted the finest foods. Yet, his heart remained heavy. No matter where he went, he couldn't find the peace he was looking for. One day, he came across a wise old woman sitting by the river. She was surrounded by children who laughed and played around her, their joy radiating like sunlight. The traveler approached her and asked, "You seem so peaceful, ma'am. What is your secret?" The old woman smiled gently and said, "Come back tomorrow and I will show you." Curious and hopeful, the traveler returned the next day. This time, the old woman handed him a mirror and said, "Look at your reflection." The traveler frowned. "What am I supposed to see?" She replied, "Look closely. What do you see beyond your face? Beyond your flaws?" The traveler gazed into the mirror. For the first time, he noticed the worry lines on his forehead, the sadness in his eyes, and the weariness in his smile. The old woman explained, "This mirror reflects not just your outer self, but your inner self. It shows your face, but also the emptiness and sadness in your heart. If you want to find happiness, you must start by changing the way you see yourself." Confused, but intrigued, the traveler asked, "How can I do that?" The wise woman handed him a small journal and said, "Every morning, write down one thing you love about yourself. And every evening, forgive yourself for one mistake you've made that day. Over time, this mirror will show you not just your reflection, but your light." The traveler decided to follow her advice. Day by day, he wrote down one thing he loved about himself, and each night, he forgave himself for his mistakes. Slowly but surely, he noticed something remarkable. His reflection in the mirror began to change, not because his face had changed, but because his heart had. He smiled more often, stood taller, and felt a sense of peace he had never known. This story holds a simple but profound truth. The way we see ourselves shapes the reality we live in. If you focus only on your flaws, that's all you'll see. But when you begin to accept yourself, imperfections and all, you start to see the beauty within. Self-love isn't about ignoring your mistakes or thinking you're better than others. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you'd offer to a dear friend. Your imperfections are a part of your story. They don't define your worth. They enrich your humanity. Instead of trying to erase them, learn to embrace them. You might wonder, if self-love is so important, why is it so hard to practice? Let's explore some of the reasons. Reason number one is inner critic. We all have a voice in our heads that whispers, "You're not good enough," "You'll never succeed," or "You're not worthy." This inner critic is often a product of years of fear, self-doubt, and comparison. But here's the truth. Just because you hear that voice doesn't mean you have to believe it. Reason number two is external expectations. Society sets unrealistic standards for us. We're told we must look perfect, achieve success, and never fail. But perfection is an illusion. Chasing it only leads to exhaustion and dissatisfaction. True happiness comes from accepting who you are, not striving to meet someone else's definition of perfect. Reason number three is past memories. Many of us carry emotional scars, words spoken in anger, failures that haunt us, or relationships that broke our trust. These wounds can make it difficult to believe we're deserving of love. But holding on to those hurts only keeps us trapped in the past. Now that we understand the barriers, let's talk about how to overcome them. First, stop labeling yourself. Imagine a friend came to you feeling defeated. Would you say, "You're such a failure"? Of course not. So why speak to yourself that way? Replace harsh self-talk with kindness. Instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," try, "I made a mistake and that's okay." Second, celebrate small wins. Life isn't just about big achievements. Every small step you take matters. Did you get out of bed despite feeling down? That's a victory. Did you drink enough water today? Celebrate it. Recognize and appreciate your efforts, no matter how small they seem. Third, practice daily affirmations. Start each day by looking in the mirror and saying affirmations like, "I am enough, just as I am," or "I deserve love and respect," or "I am capable of amazing things." Fourth, forgive yourself. One of the hardest things to do is forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, but holding on to guilt and regret only holds us back. Let go of the guilt and regret you've been carrying. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself. This act of self-forgiveness will free you from the weight of regret and open your heart to greater love. Forgive yourself not because you're perfect, but because you're trying. So, my friends, life is not about being perfect. It's about being real. Remember, even the most beautiful diamonds have flaws, and so do you. Perfection isn't real, but authenticity is. Your imperfections make you resilient. Self-love isn't about being perfect. It's about accepting who you are. When you start practicing self-love, you'll see the world begin to reflect that love back at you. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. Along the way, you'll make mistakes, face challenges, and feel imperfect. But remember this: you are not defined by your flaws, your past, or your failures. You are defined by how you rise, how you learn, and how you choose to love yourself every single day. Look in the mirror and see not just your reflection, but your light. Because the world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be you. If this message touched your heart, give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe to Way to Enlightenment for more inspiring stories and life lessons. Let's spread kindness and understanding together. Remember, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are capable of amazing things. Realize your self-worth. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.